So, welcome to From Market to Table. I'm Kathy Willis, Grove City County Market's only scratch baker. And with me, I have Sam McGurty, and he is the manager of the seafood department.
Hello, how are we doing today?
Good.
So,
yeah, we're going to be doing a couple of things, and I think I'm going to let Sam go first.
yeah, I'll go ahead and get it started.
Sure.
Real simple stuff today. We're going to work with some salmon and some petite lobster tails. Petite lobster tails no different than the bigger lobster tails. They're just smaller. They're going to cook a little faster. I think they're a little more tender. They're young, you know what I mean. The salmon we're using today is actually, it's fresh, wild sockeye salmon right out of Alaska. This is like the best salmon I think that we can get.
And they only get this once a year?
Not very often do we have it, but I mean this is as fresh as it gets. So what we're going to do is a garlic Parmesan salmon. Really simple. We're just throwing it in the oven. I mean it's a piece of cake.
Okay.
So we got our piece of salmon here. It's like 4 steps. I like to cut it down into like 1.5 to 2-inch pieces. It just seems to cook better. It's portioned out for your family or whoever you're feeding. Again, it's it's just portion. It's easier.
Yeah.
So I cut it into like 1.5 to 2-inch pieces, and I skin it first.
Okay.
You don't have to skin it. That's not. You don't have to. I just like to. Then we got just a baking sheet with parchment paper, real simple. We're gonna hit the salmon with olive oil. I do it on both sides. It doesn't stick to the parchment paper, but then it's good on the top. It doesn't help it dry out.
Okay.
The olive oil just helps it moist and everything else. So olive oil, and then we have salt and pepper that we're gonna put right over the top of it. Light, it's kind of the taste, you know what I mean? I don't like overpowering my fish with salt and pepper. There's no need to.
Yeah.
And then fresh minced garlic, which I took this morning. I diced it up. You can buy minced garlic, but I'd rather use fresh, diced up garlic. It's so much stronger. It's better.
Yeah.
And then Parmesan cheese, which I also grated myself again this morning. So you got olive oil, salt and pepper. You're gonna put the garlic on there. You're gonna put some Parmesan cheese on there. We're gonna throw it in the oven. It's literally that easy. It is 4 steps. The oven, like 385, 400 degrees. We did this for like 7 minutes. That's all we did it for. Your oven at home probably not going to be as hot.
Yeah.
So upwards of 10, but you want to keep an eye on it. You don't want to dry out your fish. This is like the best salmon you're going to get. So I wouldn't go any more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, because that's not that thick.
No, it's not. It's not, but it's very nice, very rich.
Sure, yeah, it's cook
perfect.
fast.
Right. So that's what we got. We'll throw that in the oven, and then we'll get on with our petite lobster tails. All we're doing with these is we're just going to steam them. I don't really add nothing to them, just water and steam them. Some people steam them in beer. You can steam them in whatever you want.
Yeah.
Water, beer, I'd go with one of those two, but I don't season anything. I don't no lemon juice, nothing. I mean afterwards, if you want to throw some lemon juice on your lobster tails, that's cool.
Now, is there anything you need to do when you buy the lobster tails like that?
I don't do anything to them. These are just how we bought them. They're just thawed out.
Okay.
As you can see, once these are cooked, the shell is going to turn a red color.
Okay.
That's how I know they're done. So, but they're small. Like these are good. You could grill these if you wanted.
Yeah.
Just the same as grill your salmon if you want.
Sure.
You don't have to bake your salmon. You can grill it. You can grill your lobster tails. Broil your lobster tails. Steaming's just the way most people are going to do their lobster tails. So we're just going to show you. A lot of people don't really buy lobster tails because they don't know how long to steam them when they're done.
Right.
They always might overdo them all the time. Just the simple stuff like that. So we've got our pan going, and I like to get it real hot because we're just going to dump the water in. It's going to steam. You know what I mean?
And
I'm going to cover it up.
Okay.
We're going to cover it up, and that's going to be about. We're just going to let it steam for a couple minutes. We'll keep checking it. We'll roll them over once or twice. But yeah, this is what we're talking about. So this bad boy is just going to get hot. These are going to steam in here. I'm going to cover these up. So while these are going, I'll move this stuff out of the way. I'll show you our salmon, again, we cooked it for like 6-7 minutes. That's all it was.
Sure.
And I'll show you what it come out with. I did some asparagus with the salmon just because it gives it some good color, brings it out real nice. So here's what our salmon ended up looking like. And the asparagus, again, fresh asparagus on the same baking sheet. All I did was all of the oil, salt, and pepper, same amount of time as the salmon, and it comes out beautiful.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
Nice,
You can't beat it.
crisp,
Right.
tender.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Nice.
Absolutely perfect.
Oh, that looks really great.
Right.
Now, now, if you weren't sure, how do you test to make sure your salmon's done?
You could just-
Flakiness?
Yeah, flakiness. I could just break off a piece and like check out the inside. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Your salmon, you can eat your salmon like, it doesn't have to be well done. It doesn't have
Sure.
to be mid-well. If you want medium rare salmon for say, you can eat it that way. That's
Yeah,
completely fine. This is pretty good. This is flaking apart. This is
Yeah.
not dry. It's probably your average like temperature
Okay.
for salmon. But yeah, you can flake it apart, check the inside.
All right.
That'd be about the best way to do it. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So these are going, and these aren't, again, these are going to be a couple minutes because they're so small. They're only 1 ounces.
Right. Right.
The bigger ones are going to take a little bit longer, but these are good size. If you're having company over, you can cook a bunch of these.
Oh, sure. Be a nice little appetizer.
Exactly. Yep, you're correct. Yep. So.
Oh, wow.
These bad boys are changing colors already.
Already?
On us. They're curling up real nice. Just what we like to see.
Wow.
Makes me want to eat these bad boys for dinner.
Yeah.
So again, I'm just going to let those go for a couple more minutes.
All right.
I guess you can go ahead and get started. Like I said, the two things we had, real simple. You can cook this dinner up in 10 minutes.
Sure.
Company's coming over, you need something quick.
Yeah.
This is really easy, really good, and you can't beat it.
All right. Well, one of the things that I wanted to do is now that the fruit is coming in, like fresh peaches, they've been really nice. Blueberries, whatever kind of fruit that you really like. Mangoes are coming in that look really nice that we're getting. So what I wanted to do is some fruit streusel muffins. And these are, put my dishes here. With this recipe, you can certainly do whatever kind of fruit you want to add to it. This morning, we're just going to do some blueberry. Now, for the streusel part, what I put in this bowl was half a cup of sugar, and 2 heaping tablespoons of flour, and 1.5 tablespoons of melted butter, and just a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. You can see it makes this really nice crumble, and this is what we're going to put on top of our muffins. So one of the first things that we want to get ready is preheating our oven. Now, with this recipe, I found this on the internet, and a lot of the ingredients are the same as what I use for my muffins. So I thought, well, I'm sure this will be pretty good. But what they said for baking it was setting your oven to 425. So you're going to have a hot oven, and you're going to put your muffins in and cook them for 5 minutes, and then turn your oven down to 375. Now you have to really sort of watch it so you remember at 5 minutes to turn your oven down to 375. But so that's what we did this morning. So now that we've done that and our streusel topping is all made, what I'm going to do is in here I already have my 2.5 cups of flour. Now to this, get my whisk. To this, what I'm going to add is 1 tablespoon of baking powder. And you know, you want to make sure your baking powder is been not too old, that you know it's still been working well. I think mine this morning, I left a can that was probably very old, so my muffins didn't rise as much as I wanted them to, but I'll tell you, they're still as good as can be. Then we're going to do a teaspoon of baking soda and just a half a teaspoon of salt. There's my half teaspoon. Now with these dry ingredients, I just want to whisk them together so we don't have any areas where there's just, you're going to get either just baking soda or salt or anything. So now we have it whisked together. We'll set that aside. Now we want to make our wet ingredients. And for our wet ingredients, get everything that I'm going to need here. Okay, for our wet ingredients now, what we're going to do is mix our 1 cup of sugar and 1 stick of unsalted butter that's been melted and cooled. So I'm going to mix this together first. And this actually goes together really easy because you don't even need to use a mixer. It takes nothing to stir this up. And then to this we're going to add 2 large eggs. To mix it all in before we add anything else. Now this recipe, I use buttermilk. You could certainly use whole milk. You could use 2% milk. It's up to you what you'd like to use. But I really like the flavor and the zing of whole milk, or buttermilk, I mean. So we're going to add 1 cup of buttermilk. And then 1 tablespoon of vanilla. All right. Teaspoon, teaspoon, teaspoon. That's my 1 tablespoon. There still was sugar on the spoon, we wouldn't have gotten a tablespoon. So now these are our wet ingredients. And like I said, we are making blueberry muffins this morning. And I had already gone through the blueberries and cleaned them. You can use 1.5 to a little over 1.5 cups of blueberries. So now I take my dry ingredients. I'm going to mix my wet into the dry. And then we just want this mixed, gently with a spatula, just so we get it all turned in and all mixed around until it's just incorporated. And then we're going to mix in our blueberries.
It's pretty simple then.
Yeah.
Very simple. Doesn't take long at all.
Nope, not at all.
Blueberries are awesome. Berries right now, you can't beat the berries.
Yeah. I know, I haven't gone out picking, so I'm afraid I don't want to miss it this year.
Yeah.
There we go. And now what I'm going to do is add my blueberries. Now when I do a cake, I usually like to coat my blueberries with flour, but I find in this you really don't have to. They stay separated. You know, they won't sink because they cook up so quickly. All right, now I get my muffin pan. And you can, you know, prepare your muffin pan. We probably should have done that, but we're going to just coat it. And you can put these, you know, close to the top. It doesn't have to be a half full or anything. Now, if you'll see that once I fill this muffin pan, it's not a huge muffin pan, but once I fill this one, I will have leftover, and I could either do another full muffin pan like this. I could do a pan of mini muffins that, you know, the kids might enjoy those. So we're going to fill these up in here. And again, this just takes easy, and you can even see already how the dough is starting to raise.
Yeah, it is.
It's real soft, and gets nice and airy. And all right, we'll do two more. And
yeah, and like you said, you definitely do. You have enough for another muffin pan and some.
Oh, yeah. All right, so let me go ahead and put my topping on. And then these just go in the oven. And like I said, you could, you know, do it at 425 for 5 minutes and then turn it back down to 375. Or you could put them in at 375 for 20 to 25 minutes. You just need to watch them for depending on how hot your oven is. So that's basically it for my blueberry muffins. The other recipe that I want to just talk about for a second is peach fritters. Now, who doesn't love peach fritters? I don't know if you've ever seen them, but this is also a very simple dough to make. It's just flour, salt, baking powder, sugar, cinnamon, eggs, and a little bit of milk. And then you put actually and then a tablespoon of melted butter, and then you just dice up your peaches and put them in, and you know you have your vegetable or whatever, and you can, you know, use a fry pan. You can use a large skillet with about 2 inches in there, and they only take about 2 minutes to cook, and they need to be flipped only probably for another minute. And let me just show you. These are what the fritters look like. And I never can find my knife when I need it. How about you? You got a knife?
It's on the second tray,
shelf.
right by your paper towels.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Always need another pair of eyes. So you can see that these fritters have, you know, they're pretty full with peaches.
Can't beat that. The peaches are also really good. Like you were talking about earlier, the fruit right now, you cannot beat it.
Yeah.
And peaches are awesome for them fritters. Like you said, who doesn't like an apple fritter? Everybody loves apple fritters.
Absolutely.
Hard to beat peach fritters.
And the also the blueberry muffins, which I did make some small ones, but you can see that they're just loaded with their blueberries. Plus also, I did some peach muffins. And you can see there's peaches all the way through the peach muffins. Now the fritters, when they came out, and you know you put them on either a brown paper bag or paper towels to drain, and while they're still pretty hot, you drizzle just a easy drizzle of powdered sugar and a little bit of milk mixed to make it drizzle consistency, and you coat them. You can also, while they're hot, instead of doing the drizzle, you could coat them, turn them over into plain sugar, and you'll have a sugar coated one.
Sounds good.
So these are some of the easy recipes that we made for using some of the summer fruits that we're going to have, and certainly a dinner that you just can't pass
Can't
up.
pass that up.
Yeah.
And it's super easy to make. Again, it takes 10 minutes and it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. Very easy, very good,
Good.
very simple, both of them.
All right. Well, thank you very much. We enjoy seeing you again, and hope to see you again at County Market.